How would you feel if every day you woke up with just enough fear to make you motivated to do something new and exciting, but not so much that it actually stopped you from doing the work you should do? And not enough fear that it took away your contentment and the joy and happiness you have in your life. Most people don't know what that looks like. Most people have never heard of such a beast. But I've been doing a tremendous amount of research on figuring out why and how this can be more of a reality. And it all comes down to a 4-letter word with a hyphen. And that 4-letter word is self, but there has to be the hyphen. Here's why. The root cause of inconsistency, of procrastination, of avoidance behaviors is not rooted in the fact that you have the wrong personality, you're easily distracted, you have ADD or whatever else. It actually is rooted in a self-hyphen, self-compassion. If you have more self-compassion, you're kinder to yourself, and you don't trigger the inner dragon, that lizard brain at the top of your spine, that's going to shut anything down that looks like a threat. And a threat is anything that you say is hard, or where you say bad things about yourself. I can't do it. I don't know how. This is going to be tough. When you say that to yourself, you're not showing yourself any kind of self-compassion. This thing says, hey, that's really hard and it's a threat. And you'll literally do anything except the work you're supposed to be doing. When I read a little bit more about it, and I have been doing a tremendous amount of reading, I'm reading The War of Art right now by Stephen Pressfield, fantastic book. I'm reading Primal Leadership with a whole bunch of authors about emotional intelligence. A theme arises over and over and over again, and it's self-hyphen, self-awareness, self-compassion, self-validation, self-management, self-control, self-love. And when you really get down to it, when you figure out for yourself what validation you need from within, not from anybody else, that's nice, but not necessary. How do you feel about yourself? When you look in the mirror, stop looking at everything you hate about yourself. Instead, look at all the things about yourself that you love. This morning, I decided I'm not going to look in the mirror and criticize myself anymore. Why? Because I need a little bit more self-validation that I'm totally okay. So I look in the mirror and I see someone who's come from a lot, works really hard, and is successful in what she does because she does what she loves. That's what I'm going to choose to see in the mirror, because for myself, I feel better. And that's my telling my lizard brain it can go take a fucking hike. And I don't need it to tell me any bad messages anymore, because those bad messages, that bad self-talk, right? So there's another word, self-talk. We choose what word to put in front of it, positive or negative. But if it's negative self-talk, it's going to drive us into the ground. But there's one word with the word self in it that has nothing to do with this. And yet people sometimes get it mixed up. And that's the word selfish. It is not selfish to self-validate. It is not selfish to do something that brings you joy. It is not selfish to take care of yourself and let everyone just fucking take care of themselves. You always lifting people up, taking on someone else's burden of care is the problem. You can still care without making that care a burden. But people will often want to give you that burden because they're afraid of their own inability to self-care, to self-love, to self-validate. They don't know how to do it. And so when they see you doing it, it's a criticism for them. And then they'll come for you. And that happens all the time. As you become more centered and more confident in yourself, more controlled in your world, those around you start to get sick. They start to demand your attention. They start to do things that are really weird and act just really odd. What's happening is they're recognizing in you something they want for themselves, and it makes them feel bad. And if they don't know how to process that, then that's how it manifests. But the more controlled, the more self-hyphen you get with yourself, the less that bothers you. And yet the more you're actually able to help them find their way to the path that you're on. And so the next time that someone calls you selfish, the next time you call yourself selfish because you want to do something for yourself or take care of yourself or do something self-hyphen, you just say, no, it's not selfish. Selfishness is doing something for yourself to the detriment of others. This is not what self-love, self-care, self-validation is all about. Selfishness, again, is doing something for yourself at the cost, the detriment, the pain of somebody else. So as long as that's not what you're doing, then you're on the right path. So the next time you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, oh, something like that about yourself, I want you to switch what you see, and I want you to self-hyphen. I want you to either show yourself a little bit of self-compassion, a little bit of self-validation, a little bit more self-love. And what you will find is, as the world ceases to be able to affect and control you, what you want to do, what your next step should be, becomes insanely clear. So that's the message for today, because there are so many people that suffer by being told that they are selfish. And all that's happening is they're just taking care of themselves a little bit more. And that's freaking people the fuck out. But let them freak out, because maybe they're going to freak out and find their own feet and figure out how to do this as well. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It is essential for you to achieve that level of consistency in your business, of doing the work you want to do, of feeling accomplished and that you're achieving things, and hit that level of contentment and commitment that you're really, really happy with. You deserve to be happy. And sometimes you just got to do a little bit of self-hyphenation to get there. It's not selfish, it's self-care. And that's totally different. Practice that today. See how it goes.